Yeah, I don't know. That would be very, very interesting. I really still need to see the show because, like I said, my mom watched it and she really, really liked it. So,
And also, I still need to finish it.
that would be very, very interesting. We'll do. I just have to mute this. But anyway, welcome everybody. We are live on a very special, brand new show that Raul and I are going to be putting out called the Guest Spotlight After Dark. So this is going to be pretty much a random show where we talk about things that we wanted to during the main show that we missed, or even just things that had came up during the day. So like I watched a movie in between these episodes, so we'll probably discuss it later. But man, thank you for joining me again. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, and I stay in my apartment and I binge 5 episodes of 13 Reasons Why.
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna get into that because I'm excited. I know, just even recently, right, there was a bunch of TV finales, show finales and stuff, right? So yeah, we'll have to get into that. I mean, it's been a while since we did recaps and rants, so we'll do like a mini comeback of it for to see what we all missed.
And also, this was a pretty good episode, I think, that we recorded earlier. And also, I saw that it was 2 hours. It didn't feel 2 hours when we were recording it.
Right, I agree. And then for anyone watching, please go check in the description for the latest episode and the first episode of the Guest Spotlight because it was fun. We had Nolan on, we had Brandon on, talked about Deadpool. We debated about Solo. It got a little bit of heat. But it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, and you stopped me because I could have gone for hours.
Oh, well, exactly. And like I said, it was like an hour and 55 minutes, and it felt like it was only 30. So it was crazy. It was really, really fun.
But even though 70% was bitching about Rogue One.
That's true. That's true. But hey, you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah. And also, I'm not going to change yours. I know that you hated Solo and I hate Rogue One.
No, well, I'm growing on to Solo. I don't hate it as much as I did when I saw it first. But, you know, I'll have to watch it again.
And also, it's like with me with Rogue One. I saw it 3 times in the theater, and every single time I hated it even more. I gave it a chance.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I mean, I'm never going to say no to a movie. Like,
and
I have like one rule, and that's really like I'll watch every movie once. The ones that I'm diverse on, or that I don't really know how I feel yet, I'll watch multiple times. So I'm not. I'll catch it a couple times.
With Rogue One, because it was Star Wars, that was the only chance. I was like, I need to see it again just to know if I really hated it. I was like,
oh yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think if there was any movies like that I had to watch to see if I'd like them, but.
Yeah, like I think I saw it. This is a good question. I think we said it a long time ago, but I recently last year I saw Oculus for the second time, and I hated it when I saw it in theaters. Yeah, I hated with the girl from Doctor Who. She's Gamora's sisters.
Karen Gillian, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah.
I didn't like Oculus because I predicted the ending in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, I know what movie. I just thought of mine.
Mm-hmm.
When I originally watched Cabin in the Woods, I hated it. Right? Isn't that weird? I absolutely hated it. And then I went back years after and watched it, and it's one of my favorite movies in the last little bit, especially for horror. Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't think I understood it when I first watched it.
That movie, it was tailored for us. For you, the horror for me was the meta.
Well, exactly. Like, I think my main opinion on it was like, I was confused. It's like, oh, they built up to this thing, and then the big hand came out. It was just, I don't know why I didn't like it the first time. I just maybe didn't understand.
No,
but I love it now. I love it now.
When I saw it, I didn't knew nothing about it. Not even a trailer, nothing. I was in the theater. I was like, I want to see something. And I saw the poster. I was like, it has to be a generic horror movie. And so I bought the ticket. I got in. I was like, Chris Hemsworth looks young. Because when that movie came out, because I don't know if you knew, that movie came out in 2012, but it was produced in 2008. It was on the slate for 4 years.
I didn't know that. Wow. Mm-hmm. How is it? Do you imagine? Wow.
And so I was one of the first people before reading on IMDb. I was like, huh, Chris Hemsworth looks younger and less muscly. You can notice it. Because it wasn't the same time as the Avengers. It was in 2012. It was the same year.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, I didn't even clue that in. Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, now watching that film, it's so good. And also, the ending is like incredible. I love it.
Sad that she didn't come out in more movies.
Yeah,
I really like that girl, and also that Shaggy guy.
Well, he has that like coffee mug. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, all those characters were great.
I'm surprised that you don't have that. You don't have that mug. I think I was in Comic-Con, in Philly Comic-Con. I saw someone having that mug that goes like this. It's like in the cabin in the woods.
That's amazing. Yeah, I want to buy one. I know. Even like the biggest thing from that movie that I found just kind of interesting is how Drew Goddard. Like, I want to see more movies by him.
No, right? I would love.
I feel like he got the shaft with the Sinister Six movie that was supposed to happen.
No, you know what they should do? They should do like a short film, or like bring back Cabin in the Woods for the 10-year anniversary in a few years, and make the two guys from the computer make a short film of the first days and the job. Like reading the instruction manual of everything they have to do and learning the rules about the game and all of the creatures. And see, the guy said, hey, I like this creature, the marine creature that he loved.
Well, wasn't there like the Shining girls in there, and there was like
the strangers, the big snake,
the slug from James Gunn's movie Slither.
Even Pennywise, there was a version of Pennywise. There was a version of Chucky. There was even a fucking unicorn. There was a unicorn.
Have the unicorn stabbed through? Yeah, that's cool.
Oh my god! And also, I remember when I saw that episode. There was an episode of Supernatural at the same time where the killer was a unicorn.
There's an episode of Supernatural where the killer's a unicorn. That's awesome. I really need to get my schedule built up so I can start watching these shows.
The unicorn kills someone with the horn, like in Cabin in the Woods, but then you see him running, farting rainbows.
That's pretty awesome. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, that episode is a little crazy because, of course, the unicorn is not the main monster. Is based on imagination of a kid, that he's imagining different creatures that he draws. But this thing is making all of his fears and the things that he's drawing come true. Like the other attack is someone getting killed by an octopus. The other one is by a shark. It's different monsters. That's a pretty crazy episode. And also it's pretty funny because one of the fears of Sam is clowns. And that's a callback from season 1 and 2. They explore Sam's phobia to clowns. Wow. And I forgot what Dean's fear was. I think they didn't touch Dean's fear because Dean's fear was more touched on season 4. That's the episode that you watch, Yellow Fever, when he has fear of cats and dogs and all of those things.
Yeah. Well, I knew the dog one because of that episode I watched with my aunt.
Yeah, that's Yellow Fever.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
And so, yeah, but when I saw Cabin in the Woods, I was like, I see 2 unicorns on the same weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like, what's the coincidence of that actually happening? That's really cool.
It's like I was seeing it recently, that Robot Chicken sketch about Cabin in the Woods. He say, yeah, and I was like, what is Joss Whedon a zombie? I was like, punishment. We talk about this. Yeah, Robot Chicken made a parody of Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's pretty funny. And so the guy says to Seth Green, I was like, but why is Joss Whedon a zombie? That guy. We said about this facility because there's Seth Green and the creator of Robot Chicken own a facility like Cabin in the Woods. And they say, we talk about this place on drinks, and then next weekend, Cabin in the Woods was in theaters nationwide, and the other guy, well, there was no people in those theaters because not a lot of people saw it. That's the other thing that I hate. Cabin in the Woods didn't make money. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're right. Because I remember something like that. Hearing that I didn't make any money, which is a shame. But like I said, I think at the time when I watched it, I didn't like it anyway. So it was just something that brushed off my shoulders.
No, I saw that movie 3 times. So how much I loved it. Which
makes sense.
Yeah,
because you love Scream and all that, right? Like it's all the same category of horror.
Yeah, I saw it first, and then my mother came to visit. Like the next week, I was like, "You need to see it," and she's like, "I don't want to see a horror movie, Mom. You're gonna love it." I was like, and I forced her in, and she was like, "Oh my God!" Like she loved it because it's funny. It's a funny movie.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And
because
then,
it plays on the tropes of classic '80s horror films and like, I mean, like Evil Dead, right? Going into the cabin, all that stuff was just incredibly well done.
And then, like 3 months later, because in our town we have the regular theater and then we have the dollar theater, they show the movies like 3 months later after they release, and you can see it for $1. And then my grandfather my grandfather was visiting, and I was like, "Hey, Grandpa, do you want to see a movie?" I was like, "Hey, let's see that movie with the cabin." I was like, "But Grandpa, that's a horror one." I was like, "Nah, it's okay." And then we saw it, and he loved it because I was like, I had never seen that kind of movie because he has never seen a meta horror movie before.
And did he like it?
Yeah, he liked it a lot.
That's awesome. That's really, really funny. I could never get my grandpa or grandma to go see a horror movie. They didn't even see my horror movie because I knew I'm like, hey, you're gonna have a heart attack if you watch this, so please.
I just remember I was like, I think my grandpa has never seen Scream.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's a good one for him to watch.
Yeah, but also that was a pretty cool Cabin in the Woods, like a follow-up to Scream 4 because Scream 4 was in 2011, and so I was still pretty hurting when I heard about Scream 4's box office. There was not going to be a Scream 5.
Well, I just think it's silly that Scream 4 is kind of underrated. Like a lot of people don't like that movie, and I thought it was really, really, really good.
I don't get the hate also.
I get the hate for Scream 3 because
Scream 3 is a piece of garbage.
But I mean, Jay and Silent Bob in that movie were pretty awesome. There's
a lot of things I like for Scream 3, but I cannot forgive that movie. There's a lot of things that I don't like, especially the brother twist. That was so forced.
Yeah, it was. I haven't seen them in a while. I have them, so I should rewatch them. That would be fun.
I don't know if I never talked to you about this, but I always wanted, because I have been a long time fan of Scream. Before I saw Scream 4, I wanted Courtney Cox's character to be the murderer.
I was always on the side of I wanted Dewey. I wanted it to just be Dewey.
That would have been pretty logical.
Did David Arquette to be the bad guy? I love that.
Well, we had that twist in Scary Movie.
That's true. That is true. I forgot about that. Who played him in? Oh yeah, it was probably some unknown actor. I can't tell you.
None. I don't even know. But I always wanted. I forget the name of Courtney Cox in Scream. I just forgot her name.
Oh, Neve Campbell.
No, Courtney Cox. She was the reporter, the writer. I forgot her character name. I'm gonna fill in this down. Wait.
I'm gonna look it up. Hey, this is just practice for the Schmodown. Let's see. Scream. Yeah, I've always liked
Gail Weathers. I always wanted Gail to be the killer because I don't know you didn't saw the Scream TV show.
No, I was just actually gonna mention that because I pulled it up. That TV show is amazing. I love that TV show.
And I love that season 1, the reporter was the murderer because she was technically a Gail wannabe. She wanted to be like Gail.
Did you even heard this third season of Scream? They're gonna bring back the original mask.
I don't know. Has that been already debuted?
Let me see. Episode 3 is gonna be premiere.
Because it has been on production for like 3 years, right? That's season 3.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't even have a premiere date on IMDb. But look at this. the Black Power Ranger dude. Oh, you can't even see that. R.J. Seiler, he's in the third season, and he was so good in Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl.
Oh, and I haven't seen the Halloween special. I haven't seen the Halloween special on season 2.
I don't think I watched a lot of the season 2 of
season 2. It was a little slow, but it had a really cool twist at the end.
I really liked Noah Foster, John Carter's character. He was
the
so
meta
good.
kid.
Yeah.
That was the thing that kept me going. The meta kid, and also for MTV to have that kind of gore in a PG-13 show.
You know the scene with the barn? That scene blew me away in the first season. That was so cool.
Yeah.
No, I really like the show. It makes me wonder why they haven't done a Friday the 13th show. Like every season, new camp counselors come in. Like I'm sure you could do so many things with these properties. It's a shame that they haven't.
You know what would be a good show? Freddy.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Well, look at how they're doing Legion. Could you imagine if the guys behind Legion did a Freddy Krueger film or TV show? Sorry, series with all the like trippy like blood effects and stuff they could do. That would be amazing.
Because in each episode, it could be a different kid. It could be a different dream sequence every single episode, and the finale will be the final girl surviving.
Well, and you could cut through, maybe have it like it's a group of friends in high school. The main final girl is in each episode, but it centers on one of her main friends. And it's like the whole episode is based on their fears and what their nightmare. Oh, that would be insane. That would be so good. Let's make it. Let's get the rights and do it.
I just think of a cool twist for that TV show will be they're all technically in a simulation.
Ooh.
And Freddy doesn't exist at all.
It was like you cut back and they're all in like a mental ward, and it's this new technology that they're testing. Did I ever tell you the pitch for the original 80s horror movie I was going to make?
I think I don't remember.
I don't know if I should spoil it because it's really good and I still want to do it. But I'll give you a little, well, who cares? I'll do it anyway. There's a
don't give it away. Just give me like the main synopsis.
It's about a group of friends who are just like in Cabin in the Woods, like the stereotypical 80s character tropes. And pretty much I won't reveal the exact ending, but you reveal that it is all in her head, but it is an 80s slasher. But I don't want to reveal the exact twist because I think you would actually like it a lot. So I'll write it down and I'll remember to tell you.
No, I just remember.
I don't need someone stealing it, and 2 years from now we'll be sitting in a movie theater and we'll see my idea.
No, did you saw that movie, The Final Girls?
Yes, really, really like that movie.
Oh my God, that's another underrated movie. I would have fucking love a sequel for it.
Talking about underrated movies, like Tragedy Girls last year was so good. That movie was way better than it had any right to be.
No, Tragedy Girls would have been a blockbuster if someone marketed it well.
Agreed. And I know, like, I was talking to Tara, who's one of the producers on Twitter, because we were going to schedule interviews for those guys when the movie was coming out. That fell through. But like, it was such a small budget, like a super
even
small
though
budget.
I mentioned it before, but Tragedy Girls with Lou Bloom, it still makes a lot of sense.
I love that. I love that idea. That's the only Nightcrawler pitch I think that I would actually be cool with, and to see how it would play out.
Because it goes with the team. Because they want to be on social media and Tumblr, and now they went to making news and
actually
developing the book. They can stumble to Lou Bloom.
Well, and that just like had my thoughts and like stuff just growing, because like imagine if like the sequel to Nightcrawler was him having to deal with the whole online media, and like instead of going to the news stations, he has to deal with these like internet personalities and stuff that are gathering the news and stuff. I think that could be interesting as well, seeing his character dynamic with some of that.
I just imagine Lou Bloom trying to get scoops about movies, making a parody of Collider or Screen Junkies.
Scoops McGee. Scoops McGlue. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh my God. I just imagine Lo Bloom saying, "Oh yeah, a new Star Wars movie. Very cool, very cool." And then when they stop, they stop recording and he kills everyone in Red Letter Media.
Well, to be fair, Lou, in Nightcrawler, he wasn't necessarily a killer.
I know,
he just did what was best for business.
And even though I'm saying that, that's a thing that I like from Nightcrawler. He never technically killed anyone. He just did some movements for the killing to happen.
Yeah. Well, at the end when he kind of just walked by Riz Ahmed, right? Like, it's not that he didn't kill him; it's that he chose not to save him.
No. For me, my favorite moment was when that guy from Aliens is seeing him with the camera.
Wait. We do need to have a moment of silence for Bill Paxton. That dude was so good. Do you know he was one of the only ones that was in Terminator and Aliens too? Like both franchises.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, and he was also in Edge of Tomorrow. That's another really underrated film talking about great movies.
Also, I think they're still developing the sequel, I think.
Yeah, if Tom Cruise doesn't kill himself jumping off of a bridge.
Hey.
I'm excited to see it though. I don't know where they're going to go with that sequel.
When we said about Cabin in the Woods, I was like, I know that if I make my In the Madam Madness meta spin on it, I know that movie's not gonna make money, but I don't care. I want to see
it. It depends. It's all about marketing, right? It's all about marketing. So if you have the money, studio behind you, you'll be able to market whatever idea.
Blumhouse, I can make it for $5 million.
Oh well, easily. That's the thing. Unless you're doing like Avengers: Infinity War, you don't need more than 15, 20 million to make a film. Yeah, and that's including catering and just everything in total.
Yeah, because I was talking to my ex-girlfriend recently about my idea that I have for In the Madam Madness, and she even told me, I was like, are you gonna show like a big horror scene? Because that's a thing, and she loved the movie also when I showed her to her In the Madam Madness, but she even said, I was like, that movie didn't need it like a big monster, because if even you remember the movie, they didn't show the monsters a lot. It was almost nothing. Right. It was like for a second. Also because that's the thing that I love from the movie. You didn't know what was real and what is not. And so I was thinking in my head.
I was just thinking too, like we should do a commentary on that film.
Mm-hmm. And
if we do The Shining in The Mind of Madness, that would be awesome.
Oh, commentaries on our favorite movies.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, and also could we do a Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4?
All the Scream movies. Yeah, that would be great. Or Final Destination. That's another good one. All the Saw movies. Yeah, there's so many we can do.
Also, I really want to do the thing that you told me, seeing all of the movies that I haven't seen. I haven't seen all of the Freddy ones. I haven't seen all of the Jason ones.
Yeah, a couple years ago I did for Halloween. It was when, like, before this channel got started, I wanted to do a live stream of me watching all of the Halloween movies on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, I think I got to, like, the 5th film, and, like, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to bed. They got really I didn't get to LL Cool J. Or whatever,
like,
whoever's in that
I
movie.
really need to practice how to write, because I just think of this like 4 or 5 days ago. I think of a new scene that I added to my pitch in the Madam Madness. I imagined the investigator going to the set, because I remember that I told you it was a cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And so he goes to the set and he's seeing that town that is recreated in the movies. And then he's seen a girl getting murdered. He's seen her torn to pieces. He's seen her organs and everything. And the guy's like, what the hell is happening? And then you hear a girl, a PA, cut, that's a scene. Pretty good special effects, man. And also, who are you? Are you a new extra? I was like, who hired this guy? And he's like, what just happened? Oh, sorry, sir. You stumbled into the scene. Sorry, this is a girl we just hired. Really cool special effects, right? And the girl's like, yeah. But she's like, we torn apart, and she's like, yay.
Whoa.
And then
awesome.
the guy says, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go to meet the head of the studio. And then he walks away, and you see the PA is like, bye, sir. And then that girl, you see someone behind her and slits her throat. And you don't know if that's real or not.
Damn, that's awesome. That's really awesome.
And I was like, that's a pretty cool scene. I was like, I just think...
That's genius. I really hope we can like get that in production and make that. I feel like John Carpenter could use the extra like money if we get him to produce it.
And also, that's another thing that I was thinking about.
It's one of those movies that I don't think anyone's really jumping to remake, so we could probably get away with doing it.
Yeah, because that's the other thing, because there's a lot of things I'm changing from the original story. I'm just basing it for like 20%, and I'm changing a lot of things. Like, it's not a book, it's a cinematic universe. I'm still using the reality, what is really, what is not.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm using from the original is the final twist. That even though I would like to change it, because you remember my original pitch, Sam Neill, he's seen what the new investigator is living through, and he's seeing like the different hell of different alternate universes, because Sutter Cranken is technically like God, and he can create different hells.
Yeah.
And I was
like, I wonder if you could get away with doing like a soul. You know how like he did Everybody Wants Some with Dazed and Confused?
Like
I wonder if
the spiritual sequel?
Yeah, I wonder if you could almost do something like that. Take your idea, make it, kind of a spiritual sequel to that movie instead of it being a whole sequel. So that way you're not disrespecting the old source material by changing certain things.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. I was like, there's a lot of things that I'm changing, but it's still the same storyline. It's about a guy that he doesn't want to believe, a guy that is not a fan of everybody that is being a fan. I'm adding the commentary of fanatism, even though in the film, they didn't explore the fanatism enough. We only saw that scene in the bookstore. He's like, you don't read Sutter Kane? It's pretty good. And then we see the other guy in the coffee shop, and that was it. And I'm adding all of these layers of people, how they get so obsessed about theories, about movies and TV shows, how they kill each other in comments. Seeing like that Collided Nightmare scene that I pitched you about John Schnepp trying to kill Cloud Wolf and Perry and Matt Riley,
Yeah.
And now with that scene that I added, I was like, you don't know what is real, the filming or not? Even though I just think of this, it would be funny that the final twist will be he's seeing the whole thing, and then he's like, what is really, what is not? And then he's like, you seeing someone seeing the movie that he doesn't know that he's in the movie.
Yeah. And you cut back and like the whole theater. Oh, I love that. That's really cool.
It could be a callback to the original also. You can see Sam Neill, already older, seeing the movie.
They're watching the remake. Oh,
they're watching the remake.
That's awesome. I love that. That's great.
And so it could be. That's the other thing. I can go in so many different ways. Like right now, that's like my alternate ending number 4. That's the cool thing about that story. It could go to different ways.
Just make the movie, and then depending on what theater it's in, have a different ending.
That's another cool thing. I would love to pull that off. Also, I just think of this.
Did you see that Jeremy John's new review he just did for Han Solo? That was so genius. That idea of doing it like a choose your own review.
I have only seen all of the red ones. I haven't seen the green ones.
I was honest, and I just followed it at what my opinions were, and I did a bunch of reds, but a lot of greens too. So that was so cool, like a bunch of yeses. That idea of like choose your own review is phenomenal. Like I wish I had the time to do stuff like that, because that would I think that could be the future of reviews, especially because of how like opinionated people are. They want to just hear what they want to hear. It's genius. It was really, really genius.
Oh my God, I just imagine someone getting out from that movie. If I make that, I was like, That was a pretty weird, but I loved it. I love that movie. And I
Well,
would
like
be
I
like,
said, and I don't, and that's, and like, unfortunately, I think it is a film too where a lot of people haven't seen the original, so they would
mhm.
be going into this one thinking it's its own thing. I think, right?
Yeah, and also like if we get Blumhouse, technically Blumhouse will promote the shit of that movie.
Well, not only that, but Blumhouse obviously has a really good relationship with John Carpenter now
Hmm.
because of Halloween and him coming in to score it. So it's plausible, man. We need to start a petition to see if people want the movie, and if there's enough people that want to, we'll go in development.
Now imagine then they show the original and then my version. Oh, a double feature.
That's another thing I would love to do one day is like a double feature, like make two movies that are like perfectly. Here, that's a good question. What's like your ideal double feature? I saw this going around Twitter like early this week.
Mm.
I have mine. I know a really good double feature.
Even though,
Whiplash and La La
mhm.
Land. Those
uh,
two movies complement each other so well.
you know which one I just think of this when we're recording? Whiplash and Nightcrawler.
Yeah, well, that came out both 2014. That's really
And
awesome. Yeah,
also, the themes of those two movies is about getting a career and getting to the top spot.
and doing it as best as you can to like stay. Oh
Mm,
yeah, that's really good.
No matter
Similar
if you're
themes.
destroying yourself.
Yeah, well, wow. Yeah, the
Also,
themes are very similar.
I have been thinking with my pitch, you know who I would love for Story Crane, even though if we don't get Sam Neill,
Hmm.
Benedict Cumberbatch for 5 minutes. He would be a perfect Story Crane.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. Has
He has
Benedict
the
ever
same
done any kind of
hair.
horror? Well,
Hmm?
has Benedict ever done like a horror franchise? Like, I don't think he has. He's one of those
So
actors I think could be really, really good.
it's so weird. Benedict Cumberbatch will be a good vampire.
Yeah, I agree. He has that like innocent like jaw line. Yeah, he would look great.
Also, talking about horror in vampires, they never, because Anne Rice has been planning to do an interview with a vampire TV show for years. She
That's
wants to make it like
that's
a Game of Thrones style.
that's Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt vampire movie.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever finished it.
It's a pretty good movie.
Is
I
it?
saw it when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah, no, I was talking to my dad a couple months ago about it because he had seen it. It was on TV, and I know he said it was really, really good too.
Oh, my mother is a big fan of those books. She read Interview with a Vampire, Princess of Darkness, the spin-off with Antonio Banderas character. There's like 5 books.
Oh wow, I didn't know. I didn't know even that they were based on books. I thought it was like.
I think they're called the Vampire Chronicles. I think that's the name of the saga.
Hmm. Well, and that's another thing. Like, what was the last really good vampire movie? Because that's something that's been died down so much. I would say maybe like What We Do in the Shadows. That was really, really good, but it wasn't like a serious vampire movie.
But still was pretty good. That's the other thing. Do we call the I Am Legend vampires or zombies?
A mix of both, maybe vampire zombies.
Because that was one of my dilemmas when I saw that movie like 10 years ago. I was like,
I
are
think
there vampires or they're zombies?
I think I was always under the impression they were zombies, but I would have to watch it again to see because I don't remember.
Because in the original with Vincent Price, because I saw that one too, they were vampires. And in the book, they're
Or
vampires.
maybe they are vampires because there's that part in the movie right where they like can't go in sunlight and they
Mm-hmm.
burn up, right? So yeah, I guess they're vampires.
Mm.
That was something I didn't catch before either. Because yeah, maybe because they did have that World War Z zombie type.
Oh, a movie that I still hope. What the hell is going? That sequel is never gonna get made. The World War C sequel.
With David Fincher, isn't that the weirdest thing for him to do next?
You would totally see it.
100%. I didn't really like the first World War Z, but Fincher doing a zombie film, sign me up. Like that sounds amazing.
Also, even though I have never read the book, but I read so many things from the wiki. there's a lot of things they can explore. There's a pretty cool storyline about the perspective of a soldier seeing everything going down.
Wow. Yeah, I've never read the book. I know it's kind of like different moments throughout, right?
Yeah, because the book is like letters. It's letters for different perspectives of the same incident. It's like you never saw The Strain, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The Strain is the same thing. I read like half of the first book. It's seeing different perspectives of the same incident.
That's really, really awesome. I love that idea. That's like the whole anthology idea, though. I'd love to see a TV show where it's like, no, it's the exact same thing, but you're in the perspective of a different person. Because that could change drastically how you view that situation, right? Depending on whose eyes you're looking through.
Talking about anthologies, I was seeing a video about the Cloverfield problem because with the Cloverfield paradox.
That's so silly.
Yeah, but let me tell you this.
Okay.
Matt Reeves had a pretty cool idea back in 2008. Remember that scene in Cloverfield where they're all in the bridge and then you're seeing one of the brothers seeing another guy with a camera and then on the other side another guy with a camera?
Yes.
And then the monster kills the brother.
Yeah, yeah.
He's saying that that's an Easter egg that he put it there because his plan for the sequel was going to be seeing the same incident in New York with a different perspective. Those two characters would have been another movie. But then 10 years later, J.J. Abrams came up with 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then we got the piece of crap that is Cloverfield Paradox.
I wouldn't say he came up with 10 Cloverfield Lane because they literally just stole a script and then threw it. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. And Paradox was fine. Paradox wasn't. I love it, but I don't think it deserves that much hate. It's a silly sci-fi movie.
Going back to the Madam Madness reboot / remake, whatever. This is another thing that I was thinking about, like a month back. Remember in the ending of the original where he gets the manuscript and then he's seeing the pages and then he opens it and he sees the darkness and you only see like the shade of the monster. I was like, if I only get one scene of showing something really awful, something like to traumatize the audience, I was thinking, remember, even though I had never seen that Freddy movie, but when they open Freddy's chest and you're seeing all of the people in his skin?
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember which one that is either, though.
I was thinking of a monster with the arms, the chest, the legs, is all of the people that have died throughout the whole movie. The real people that were fans of the whole saga.
Yeah.
And he's seeing their souls being tortured and getting manipulated by this monster that is controlled by Sarah Crane. And you only see the monster for 1 minute and you see the horror of the protagonist in his eyes. That's the only thing that you need. You need to show it for 2 seconds and that's it.
Huh. Yeah, man, we need to make this because I'm like super intrigued. I would love to see it translated into actual film. It would be so good.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, how will expensive will be that creature? Because I want it practical. I don't want it CGI.
Oh, yeah, no. And practical effects are a lot cheaper now since everything's kind of moved to CG. But one of the things I wanted to ask was like, we should get into some of those TV finales because I know you were saying the middle was insane. So I'm dying to hear about what happened and what your reaction to it was.
First, I was emotionally prepared for it. It started when it left off that Axel is going to work in Denver, on the other side of the country. Frankie is not ready to let his son go. Axel says goodbye to Sue and Brick, and they decide to drive him to Denver. And then Sue did a thing before the finale started. She left the snow globe to Sean in his backpack. And Sean, he was going to go to Ghana to his internship because he's a doctor. And I was like, it was already because the finale was 2 episodes. And I was like, the episode 1 just finished and now it's episode 2. I was like, why you haven't brought us Sean back? I was like, if you forget about Sean, I'm gonna sue the ABC. And then they put out Sean in one scene and he's going through security, and then they open his bag and he's seeing the snow globe. And I'm like, and then he's like, no, I need to go back. And he grabs his bag and he goes back to the house. And he's saying to his mom, I was like, where the heck? So I was like, they just left to Denver. And then he goes all the way like 100 miles per hour to get them. And they're Frankie and Axel, everybody is discussing in the car that they're not ready. And they exactly when the show started, because the show started in the middle of the road by a cornfield, and you're seeing Frankie in the first episode screaming because she's tired of her family. She's stressed about work, money, everything, and she's screaming. And that's the beginning of the series. And now is ending on that same corner with everyone. And you're seeing them getting up from the car. Sean came on, I was like, Sue, what is the meaning of this? I was like, yeah, that's snow globe. I found, I was like, no, that's snow globe. I was going to give it you on Christmas, but then you didn't receive it because Axel told me you were dating someone. I was like, Axel said, oh, sorry, I lied. She was not dating anyone. And Sue said, yeah, Axel. And then Sean says, hey, but also you didn't receive my chocolates and my all of the things that I gave to you. I was like, Brick said, oh, sorry, I ate all of those. Brick! And they're like, and Sean says, I was like, I love you, Sue. I have loved you for so long. I don't see you as a friend of like a small sister. I see you as a woman. And I was like, I don't know if you're ready, but now I'm telling you my real feelings. And Sue says, that's the thing that I always wanted to hear. And they kiss. And I was like, yes. Even Frankie, everybody's like, they're like, finally. And they kiss. And then Sean says, sorry, but I need to go to that internship. So I see you in 3 months. I was like, yeah, I will wait for you in 3 months. And then they kissed again, but they broke the snow globe because they were kissing. And they were like, oh my God, is this an omen? I was like, Sean said, no, the snow globe already have his purpose. It brought us back together. We don't have to worry. And they kissed again. And then Sean leaves. And then Frankie says, I was like, and then she's exactly on the same point as the series started because she was started alone, but now she has the family. She's saying, we're never going to be together again. Axel will be successful. He will never come back to visit us. Sue will get married at any moment and she's going to leave us too. And Brick, we don't know what the hell is going to happen with Brick because Brick is the weird kid. You never know what's going to happen to him. And then the father says, Mike says, but Frankie, you know that it's time. We cannot chase this. We have to move on. And Frankie says, I know that it's the end of an era. And they all hug each other and they all go back to the car and they're driving and Frankie says, I think I need some cookies. And you're already seeing the car driving. I was like, where's the blue bag? This is a callback from the whole show because Frankie always forgot the blue bag of snacks. And that time, during the first part 1 and part 2 of the series finale, they didn't forget about the bag. But because Sean was doing that thing with Sue, they brought the bag out of the car because they thought they were going to celebrate. And they put out the bag right there in the desert. and then it breaks us. I was like, everything goes wrong because I always on the middle of the car, the middle. And then they put out an end credit scene when you see, and then Frankie says, I was like, finally, Axel got his revenge. Finally, me and Mike got his revenge. And he's seen in the future that he gets 3 kids exactly like Axel or like lazy. They always on his underwear, being messy, exactly like him. I was like, yep, we finally got our revenge. He had a kid exactly like him. And then you're seeing Sue. Oh my God, Sue. And then Frankie says, I was like, well, Sue and Sean broke up after the summer. And then they went back. And then they broke up again. And then they went back, and I was like, oh my God, if they said they broke up, I'm gonna cry. And then she said no, and then they got married, and they showed the wedding. I was like,
wow.
yeah. They show Shu and Son and Sean getting married, and then the final scene is I was like, and Brick finally did the thing that he wanted to do the most. He wrote a book, and you're seeing him signing books, and then a kid says, I was like, but Mr. Heck, how do you get inspired? About how do you make this character? I was like, I live in a pretty crappy town. That was the ending. That's how the show ended.
That's awesome. Like that's it sounds like a really cool wrap up to well, how many seasons was the series?
9.
Wow.
And I saw it since the pilot. Since the pilot started in September 9 years ago, I saw episode by episode.
Wow. And do you think it was worth the finale? Like, yeah, it answered all the questions. And I mean, it looked like they even gave you more than what they could have, right? With showing you.
Because they gave us the future, and also it was pretty cool having all of those callbacks, especially with the blue bag. They didn't forget about the blue bag.
Yeah, I love
because the blue bag was a running joke throughout the whole 9 seasons. They resolved the Sue and Sean problem. They resolved the Axel problem that he was never going to mature, and he matured at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pretty cool wrap up.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch this show because, like we said over and over again, even on recaps and rants, right? Like, this is such a good show that you know what you're getting. You're gonna leave feeling happy about yourself. Like it's such a positive show.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm gonna miss I forget the name of the actress, but the one that portrays Frankie. She's also Deborah in Everybody Loves Raymond. I was like, she has been so lucky because she has been in Everybody Loves Raymond. That was 9 seasons too. And then now the middle, another 9 seasons. I was like, is she gonna get a third one? Like the trilogy of her mother characters?
Oh, well, is the middle tied to? Did they ever have any crossovers or stuff throughout the series?
Well, it's not official, but in the Goldbergs, Axel has a cameo in the Goldbergs.
See, that's really cool.
But that doesn't make any sense because the Goldbergs is in the 80s and the middle is in the present.
Time travel. That's the only thing that can explain it.
Yeah, but I was saying to my mother, I was like, nah, they're going to bring back the middle like Roseanne in a few years.
Well, that's another show that I can never be in. Have you caught up on Roseanne? Do you still watch it?
Yeah, because remember that I told you when it began a few months ago, they were saying there was an immigrant episode?
Yeah.
It was pretty good how they managed the subject.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's pretty easy. Roseanne starts the episode that her granddaughter wants to Skype her mother because the mother is in Iraq. And so because John Goodman doesn't have the money to pay the bills, they cut off their Wi-Fi. And so she and Laurie Metcalf, the mom from Lady Bird, is her sister. They go to the neighbor. The neighbor, I forget, I think it's Arabian or Iranian neighbors. They go to ask for the Wi-Fi password. And Roseanne, there was a joke before they stumbled into that. And I was like, I'm sort of afraid because they always have a lot of, what is the name of that thing? That thing for the grass. It's a very special thing. From that thing, you can make explosives. I forget that thing. Like, it's not a chemical. A chemical for the grass.
Pesticide?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Roseanne was like, they have a big amount of pesticides. That's pretty alarming. So they thought was like, maybe they're gonna make bombs and they're gonna destroy the town and blah blah blah. And then she goes and even the neighbors, I was like, we have been living here for 1 year and we never knew about you, Miss Roseanne. And I was like, and she says, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry that I never got to meet you. I was like, and then the husband, I was like, are you afraid that maybe we're gonna kill you or something. We're gonna be a danger to your country or something. Like, no, not in another way. And I was like, I'm totally and nothing. I have nothing against you, but I would really need that favor. And so he gives the password, and you're seeing the mother, the wife of the controlling her daughter, because they're afraid, because that daughter is getting bullied in school because of her culture. And also they're getting bullied a lot in the neighborhood because they're afraid of them. And Roseanne was the only one, even though she was Roseanne being a bitch, asking for the Wi-Fi password. And so
Roseanne. Yeah, she's a person. I saw that, like, because whenever you go onto like Twitter and you go to the news articles, there's always a section online that shows what's Roseanne's tweeting and like all of her political tweets and stuff, and it just gets so annoying to look at.
Yeah,
wow, so I'm glad that they were able to like do a good.
I haven't even gotten to the special scene. Wait.
Okay.
And so the day later, they got the Wi-Fi, everything is settled. But then John Goodman says, I'm worried because they're firing his company, his construction company, because he's charging a lot of money, and the other companies, because they hire illegal Mexicans, they don't charge that much.
Yeah.
And so he's considering hiring illegals to get more job, but he's not doing it because he's afraid that any time the government can send him to prison. And so I was like, well, this is a pretty interesting thing. And also they finally reveal that one of the daughters, Becky, she works in the Mexican restaurant, and says she's being controlled by Mexicans. And she's like, and they were like, Dad, please don't say nothing against the illegals because they're gonna fire me, and also they can spit in your food. It's like, even the guy, his friend with John Goodman was like, yeah, I don't want to receive my tamales with a special flavor. And I was like, that's a pretty good joke. And so the next scene, this is the best scene in the whole episode. Roseanne is doing shopping, and then she's seeing the wife in the with the checker. And so then the girl says, pretty mean girl, I was like, so is that the other things that you're gonna buy? I was like, yeah, that's all. And she's wearing a turban. And so I was like, you know that chicken is not, it doesn't go with the food stamps because that's a premium charge. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Roseanne says, yeah, the government thinks because that chicken is already cooked, they think it's like a luxury thing. Well, you don't have to worry. And then she says, oh yeah, and the lady says, I'm gonna pay with my food stamps. Ugh, then you're invading our country and now you're paying with taxpayers' money. Ugh. And then she's like doing this with the card. I was like, okay, what is gonna happen here? Because I'm giving you the linen. What do you think? Is Roseanne gonna be pro the checker, or she's gonna help the neighbor?
I feel like because of the comments she had towards Trump and that whole controversy, that she will want to have some positive light. So I'm gonna go with option B.
And I was thinking it was going to be option A, because I love the flip on that scene. I'm gonna give you the next scene, and they're like, also, you don't need, because, and then the girl says, I was like, you're $70 short. And then Roseanne says, charge it on my card. You're helping her? And then the lady says, thank you so much. Hey, you helped me with the password, it's okay. And then the lady says, oh, are you also gonna help her carry her bags? And you're gonna put her bags in a camel? And I was like, oh my God.
Whoa, wait. Shots fired.
And then the neighbor's like she's making a face of that she cannot say anything. She gets her bags and she goes away. And Roseanne says, hey, I know that you hate your job, and I know you have your own opinions, but that is a nice woman, and you don't have the right to attack her.
Yeah. That's not
And
wow.
and also because I can go right now with your manager and they can fire you, but the things that you just told me in front of me. And also, please accept this fire coupon without saying bitch. Like technically she needed to say bitch. I was like, that was the best thing in the whole episode.
Well, that's good then, because like I said, I just with all like the things that have gone on with that show and the controversy, I'm glad that they did something that was positive and like hopefully got to a lot of Americans because that show's been doing huge on numbers.
Mm-hmm. Even though I have heard that it has been declining a little with the viewership.
Well, I'm sure if they continued the whole pro-Trump, thing, they would have.
Well, especially with the latest thing that happened because they put out that now Roseanne she's addicted to pain pills.
Oh, so they're gonna do the whole opioid addiction? Yeah, okay.
That has been the latest 2 episodes is her with her addiction. Because John Goodman cannot pay for her knee operation. That has been a whole thing since the first episode of the new reboot because they don't have the money for her operation on the leg. They don't have the money for something on his arm also.
Wow.
Because that's the theme of the whole show. They don't have the money and they still voted for Trump because they thought they were going to have money.
Okay. So at least they're touching on like probably real life scenarios that people are going through living in the States, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are families that are like that. They were doing it thinking they were going to be able to get in the upper hand, but are still struggling to do.
Yeah, so technically it's like a half and half. It's half pro-Trump and half no Trump.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other TV shows and stuff. Oh, well, I know. I don't know if you saw it, but the finale for Brooklyn Nine-Nine just aired, and thank God that got picked up for a 5th season, right? 5th, yeah.
I think it was 6. I think
6. Because that show's so good, so good.
I quit on that show when season 2 ended.
I mean, it is the same stuff, just repetitive. It's different scenarios. But I love Andy Samberg. I think his character is so good. Anything he does, I'll continue to watch.
Yeah, for me, it was not that funny anymore. It's also when I quitted also The Last Man on Earth. I quitted those 2 shows at the same time, I think.
Last Man on Earth, I saw like the pilot episode of. I never finished it.
Season 1 is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Will Forte also. Like, both of those guys from SNL are incredible comedians. And I mean, hell, look at Barry with Bill Hader that just came out. I don't watch shows that often, but when I started Barry, I binged the 7 episodes and then had to wait until the 8th premiered, which was like a week wait. But that show was so good, so good. So all these guys are killing it when it comes to series and booking shows and stuff, which is good.
So I think we didn't talk about, but I'm pretty sad that Ash vs. Evil Dead is never gonna come back.
Right? It's done now, season 3, and yeah, it's sad. What other shows got canceled?
Yeah, also especially with that cliffhanger at the end of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, that was like huge when they started when Brooklyn Nine-Nine got canceled, and that was like the controversy, like the backlash between that. There's a lot of shows like Lucifer. I heard Lucifer got canceled.
Ash vs. Evil Dead. They canceled Scorpion also. I used to watch that show.
Oh yeah, was it okay?
Scorpion is like the Big Bang Theory and CSI had sex.
Oh, got you. Okay, that would be odd.
It was a pretty cool show. Like I really liked that show, but then I started to notice that it was pretty repetitive. It was the same thing all over again. I was like, by season 4, I was like, no more. I was like, no, this is too.
Another one I just thought of too. What I need you to geek out and tell me what happened with Empire, because I know this was something you were talking about earlier too.
It was a 2-year payoff or a storyline that happened. Back in season 2, I'm gonna give you some spoilers. I know it's gonna take you like 5 years to watch the show. In season 2, Hakeem had sex with Anika. Anika was the fiance to Lucius in season 1, and then Lucius dumped her ass for Cookie. In season 2, she wanted revenge of the lions, and she had sex with Hakeem, and she got pregnant. But then Andre, one of the kids from Lucius, got her wife pregnant, Rhonda. And so they were pregnant at the same time. Anika got jealous because she wanted her kid to be the only lion kid. So she pushes Rhonda pregnant on the stairs and she lost the baby.
Yeah, I think you told me that before.
Mm-hmm. That was in season 2.
Yeah.
And so, and then on the season 2 cliffhanger, Rhonda finds out because she lost her memory, and then she remembered that she got pushed by Anika. And so they fight, and they were fighting on a balcony, and one of them fall. Anika survived, but Rhonda died. So technically, Anika killed Rhonda. Mm-hmm. And so that's a pretty cool scene in season 3 because that's the first scene. You're seeing Lucius because she married Anika to get witness protection of both of them, and Cookie got really mad and she left that wedding. And then you're seeing Lucius. I was like, where is Andre? And then he's seeing the car, and then Rhonda on the car, and you're seeing the whole body like this with the blood.
Wow.
And then Andre's like, Rhonda. And then Rhonda was like, you killed my wife. And she's like getting her like here in her neck. And then she brought her fountain that she's going into delivery. And I was like, no, you bastard, kill her. I was like, she just killed your wife and she killed your son a few months ago. And so then she gives birth to the baby. And this is a pretty cool scene also in the season 3 premiere. Lucius says, you bitch, you're only alive because you're giving me my grandson. You're the only use that you have. It's because you're his mother, but in any moment I can kill you, you bitch, because what you did to my family. And Anika is crying while she's pushing the baby. And so God. Oh, no, Troy. Empire is my fucking telenovela. I was like, And so Andre, for 2 seasons, from season 3 to the end of 4, he never got his revenge. Anika, she united with Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker was a villain in these last 10 episodes. Mm-hmm. He stole Empire. He stole Empire from the Lions. The Lions lost everything. That was the last episode. They lost everything. And Lucius, because that's the other thing, Forrest Whitaker, I told you that they killed Shine. That was a rapper that you liked.
Yeah.
Lucius killed him, but Lucius made a terrible mistake. He left his scarf with the body. And so Forrest Whitaker found the scarf and says, if you don't give me Empire, I'm going to send you to prison. And so that's why he wins at the end. Even though Lucius had decided, because he wanted to go to prison, to pay to Cookie, because Cookie went 17 years for Lucius. So he thought Lucius was like, now is my time to sacrifice parts of my life because you sacrifice also your life.
Wow.
And so Cookie,
that's really cool.
Cookie at the end, she did a move to go against Forrest Whitaker. It didn't work. They lost the company. Anika, she's now the CEO because Forrest Whitaker promised her to be the CEO, and she joined his faction. And so Andre and Lucius had a moment. Technically, Lucius forgave Andre because that was another story for season 3. Andre tried to kill Lucius in the end of season 3. He put a bomb in his car. That's why Lucius had lost his leg and his memory. That was the start of season 4. And so Lucius knew about this for 5 episodes, but he knew that the main author of that bomb was Shine, even though Andre wanted to kill him also. But Shine has 70% of the guilt because he put out the bomb, even though Andre, he wanted to kill him also. So it's different opinions. When you see the show, you will give me your opinion of that thing in season 3. But
yeah, I'm going to watch it.
And Lucius and Andre had a moment because I was like, if I go to prison, you need to take care of your mom. You need to take care of the empire because even though you don't want to admit it, Andre, you're exactly like me. You're even better than me. You're a person that is educated. I never went to high school. I never went to college. You have the same ambition as me. You have the same hunger as me. You're better than me, son. And technically, without even saying, I was like, he technically said, I forgive you. Like, he understand why Andre wanted to kill him because they're technically the same person.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you see Anika celebrating, and then Andre says, no hard feelings. Let's drink for your success. And so they drink champagne, and then Anika is giving an interview because she's now the new CEO. And then she sees Rhonda's spirit. He says, oh, so technically now you're now CEO because all of the people that you kill and destroy, Anika. Can you say a comment about that? And she's like, no, you're not here. And then she goes away. And Andre says, I was like, smile for the cameras. And then you see Andre using drugs, the drugs that the wife of Cosby in the first part of season 4. Remember that I told you that she imagined a whole girl, a police woman, and then she has sex with her, and then she killed her, and Cookie says, hey, there's no one here. So Andre used the same drugs that he was drugging to drug Anika.
Oh, wow.
And so that's why Anika imagined Rhonda, because that was her guilt. She killed Rhonda for real. And so Rhonda's spirit, that dress that she was wearing, that goes, she goes walking. I was like, no, you're not here. And then she goes, I was like, Karma is a bitch. And then her eyes go black, like in Supernatural, like a demon. And it goes like, no. And then she falls exactly like she killed Rhonda.
Yeah.
But instead of a car, it's in a table full of wine and full of wine bottles and wine glasses. And you see all of the glasses shatter and all of the blood running from her like this, like Jesus.
Oh,
and she's seeing, and Andre is only like this, smiling. That's Troy, awesome. I was at the gym and I was like, yes, my boy got revenge because that bitch killed his son and his wife on the same season.
Well, that's good.
And that's, so, I mean, and awesome. Also Lucius and Cookie finally got married. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then they killed Demi Moore and Bruce Willis' daughter, Rumor Willis. And then that was the cliffhanger. You don't know if they killed Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, the rapper.
Oh my God, he's such a bad rapper, by the way. Just need to go out there.
For me, it was okay, but I can see your point.
He's rough. He's rough.
Yeah, he had a pretty cool storyline. He was on the last 6 episodes. And so I was like, wow, they kill a lot of characters this episode.
That's awesome. Well, I love when TV shows take the liberty to do stuff like that.
And all of those things, Troy, happen at the same time that Lucius and Cookie were saying their vows. It was like a kind of Godfather thing. Yeah. They were saying one vow and they cut out with the Anika scene. Cookie was saying one vow. They cut out with the Chen Hanks and Hakeem. You don't know if they're dead. They cut out to another scene. They cut out to so many deaths while they're saying their vows.
That's awesome.
Like, now they're back together. The drama is still going strong, baby.
That's amazing. Wow. So look at that, hey? The last 3 shows, all have, somewhat great episodes.
Oh, and I haven't even gotten to Supernatural.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Carry on my wayward Troy. Here's now what the show is going to be.
Yeah, when you see Supernatural season 1 in 3 years.
In I was going to say 40 years.
My God. I would imagine if Supernatural goes that long.
I probably will. It just got picked up for more shows, right?
It has been picked up for season 14. That's the last year of the contract of Jensen and Jarrett. They haven't renewed their contract yet.
I'm sure they will. Because
they renewed their contract 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they said they wanted to get to 300 episodes. They're right now on 287.
Oh. So
And
they're close.
so we don't know if season 14 is going to be a long one, like past seasons, or going to be a short one. That's the thing we don't know because they need to do their contracts again. We don't know if we don't know if they wanted to call it quits or not.
Well, it depends on if they can get him to not be evil anymore, right? Because isn't that what happened at the finale? I saw that. As soon as I saw that, I texted you. I'm like, holy shit, I know you haven't seen this yet, but you're going to freak out.
Also,
so what all happened?
Troy, that's the thing that I don't like from you because you're getting to know those spoilers, and that's a pretty payoff from season 5. Season 5 is the best season of the whole show.
Yeah, I had it spoiled on Twitter. Like someone posted it, so I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And then I was like, "Oh shit!"
Thank God I didn't see it because I wanted to be surprised. So the episode starts when it picked off. Like Sam and Dean save everyone from the alternate universe. They brought into this universe. They make a pretty good joke. They teach all of the people from the alternate universe what they're missed. They teach them that we survived the apocalypse. Donald Trump is now president, and best picture was a woman having sex with a fish. They have that joke there.
That's
and
funny.
Bobby says, I was like, wait, you said that we're from apocalypse world and you have a woman having sex with a fishman, and you think we're coming from the apocalypse world and you having that reality star as a president? I think this is a worse place than our world.
Well, yeah, it does feel like it's an alternate dimension.
And also it was pretty cool seeing Bobby back, even though it's not the real Bobby, it's the alternate universe Bobby. And also it was Charlie from the alternate universe. And then Lucifer has a last thing that he wants to save his kid, Jack, the Antichrist. At the end, Jack, he noticed that Lucifer was using him. Lucifer betrays Jack. He slits his throat and he gets his grace. And now Lucifer is powerful. And Jack was almost going to kill Michael, the archangel from the alternate universe.
Yeah.
And so Dean says, I was like, how we're going to kill Lucifer? And I was like, I cannot do it. My vessel is already rotten. And then Dean says, I was like, well, you can use my vessel. This is a callback from season 5 because in season 5, Sam was going to be the vessel for Lucifer and Dean was going to be the vessel for Michael. And that will be the apocalypse. That will be the final fight.
Yeah.
And Dean says, but I have one condition. You can only use my vessel to kill Lucifer, and that's it. I'm totally on control. You're not gonna take care of my body or betray me. And so, because that's the other thing is supernatural. When you accept an angel, you can put out your condition and say yes. And so Dean says yes. Michael goes in. You see oh my God, that scene when Dean comes with the angel wings. It's like, yes. Because that's the thing that I wanted to see from season 5. A lot of fans wanted to see that.
Yeah.
So Dean and Lucifer had their final fight. Dean/Michael kills Lucifer. Lucifer finally dies. And then Jack is also pretty weak. And then Dean's like, we finally did it. And then Dean says, no, you told me you were not going to betray me. And then says, sorry, boys, I have to leave. He says, bye, Sammy. And he goes away. So I was like, wow, what just happened? And then you see in Castilla, I was like, oh no. Like he was, and then you're seeing Dean with an old timey suit, and you're seeing like a creepy smile, and that's the final shot. Because that's the other thing in Supernatural that goes against the Bible. They put out that the angels in season 5, since season 5, that God has not been in heaven. So the angels took power of heaven, and they wanted to go against. Some angels wanted to go against the humans. Some angels want still to protect the humankind. And it's a callback also in season 13 because they have lost all of the archangels and heaven is dying because they need one archangel. And so now I'm thinking what is going to happen next. I think that Michael, Dean as Michael, is going to go to heaven, trying to set up heaven right, but he's going to make an army of angels to destroy Earth because that's alternate universe Michael. In the alternate universe, Michael, even though he killed Lucifer, he still keep destroying and killing people. If he needed to stop the apocalypse, he still keep it going. Yeah. Because he was waiting for God's orders. He didn't notice that God was no longer there. And now in our universe, God is technically there, but he's not. And so I think that they're hinting that next season is going to be, I hope they're not do the season 10 thing that I was pretty angry because in season 10, Dean becomes a demon. And by 4 episodes in, they resolve everything. I was like, that was a cool thing. I wanted to see Dean as a demon for a whole season.
Yeah.
And so I hope, especially with the Michael payoff, the fans, we have waited 8 years for this. At least gave us the first half of the season, at least 10 episodes as Dean as Michael.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I'm sure it probably had a lot to do with like him wanting just to change up, because now he's going to be able to play, or emulate how Michael was in the show. So that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and also Jensen, for years, he always wanted to play another character because Sam has portrayed so many different characters.
Yeah.
Because Sam was Sam for season 1 and 2. Then resurrected Sam from season 3. Then Sam, so from Sam, the monster from season 4 and 5. Then Sam brought back from hell season 6. See Sam without a soul in season 6 also. Crazy Sam in season 7. Sam almost dying in season 8. We have all of these different versions from Sam.
Yeah.
And from Dean, it's only Dean. Dean as Jensen Ackles in that season 6 episode where they go to the alternate universe where there's Jensen and Jarrett. And Dean as a demon. So Jensen has never had that different versions of Dean.
Wow. Yeah, that would be awesome to see him like pull it off. That's awesome. Yeah.
And so that's the other thing. I'm hoping that the creators, they're making an end game because season 5 until now, Lucifer was still alive and they finally killed him. That was one of the main players, one of the main villains. And not going with Michael. Michael is like a 1 season, 2 season villain. I think they're hinting that maybe they're preparing for the end game, for like the final episodes.
Yeah, I would be curious if they how has ratings been on Supernatural?
The CW, they don't care about ratings. They care about the Netflix views.
Oh, that's fair. Because I know it's on there.
Because Supernatural is one of the most successful shows on Netflix.
Yeah, because that's how I watched the first episode when I watched it was on Netflix.
Because even you can watch the ratings. Only 2 million people watch Supernatural.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They care. The CW cares about merchandising because they sell a lot of merchandising.
Well, look at all the Supernatural stuff, right? And I mean,
and the convention also. The conventions in Europe, the conventions in China, the conventions of all of the US.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at like, look at who's the guy who plays Arrow, Stephen.
Yes.
Amell, Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
Stephen Amell. If you look at him, like he can go to a Comic-Con and make $1.5 million just in autographs alone. So I couldn't imagine what both of those guys could probably pull off in a weekend.
Because they not only go to regular Comic-Cons like San Diego Comic-Con or like Philly, Supernatural has its own convention.
Wow.
There was just one in Vegas.
Oh wow! You didn't go to that, eh?
I went to one in Dallas.
Oh, how was that?
5 years ago. It was very good.
That's awesome.
And so that's the other thing I just told you. Like they have their own supernatural conventions.
Yeah, that's
only
crazy.
Supernatural. That's like, how big the fandom is.
Like something like Star Wars, I get them having a huge thing, but yeah, Supernatural, that's amazing. I never knew that.
I think that's the same amount, but 12,000 people, they only go to the one in Rome. 12,000 people every year, they go to the one in Rome.
Wow.
That Supernatural Convention in Rome is the biggest one because almost the whole cast goes to that one. Everyone. Wow. No, not only like people that have killed off, almost everyone goes to that one because that's the biggest Supernatural Convention is in Rome.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know they had TVs in Rome.
My God, don't be that. Don't be like that.
Just kidding. Was there what other TV shows and stuff did you catch up on? Or was
13 Reasons Why?
Oh yeah. So let's get into that because you watched that today.
Yeah, right now I'm on episode 10 of this season. Okay. I just started episode 10, and so
last,
I'm already.
Last place we laid off was there was a school shooting going to happen right on the last season finale. So how does season 2 hold up so far? How are the characters? What's the storyline like?
It has been pretty slow. That shooting hasn't happened yet. I'm a little worried because there's some things that I'm not liking because they adding things from different perspectives of what happened in season 1 with the flashbacks. They adding more flashbacks to those flashbacks.
Ooh,
like okay. I'm gonna give you a recent twist. I liked it, but at the same time, I was like, it goes against something we saw in season 1. Like Hannah had a relationship with Zach. He's one of the jocks. He's a Chinese jock. And so he had a relationship with him and she lost her virginity to him. Back in season 1, and if I remember this from the book, Hannah was a virgin. And even though it's horrible to say this, she lost her virginity when she was raped by the rapist in season 1. And so technically they're saying that she was not a virgin. This is a good thing that even though she got raped, but her first time wasn't a raping. And so, but still goes against her relationship with Clay. Because even Clay says it in episode 8. It was like, but she already had a relationship with you. Why she was afraid with me when I was trying to hug her, when I was trying to kiss her? And she already has sex with you and have a relationship in secret with you, says to Zach. I was like, it builds a pretty good conflict with her character. So what the hell happened there? Like, even the writers and the council was like, what is happening here?
Well, and also season 1 was based on a book, but is season 2 based on a book as well?
No.
So this is all going to be original.
It's improvised.
Yeah, I'm curious because I think my mom was on episode 7 or 8 when I saw her watching it yesterday. Because I know she watches that show now too. But yeah, like I said, it's just I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm such an emotional guy. Like that show's going to tear my heart away.
Yeah, like right now I haven't even cried yet. On season 1, I was crying a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because season 1 was pretty realistic. And right now, there's another realism into this season. It feels more fictional than realism, like in season 1. Okay. Season 1 was more realistic than fictional.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I know what you're saying, yeah. Wow.
But this was a pretty interesting thing that has happened in the last 3 episodes. They brought up the argument about season 1, the fans' argument about it. Because even Clay says, because Clay, every single episode right now in season 2, she's talking to Hannah's spirit. And she's saying, I was like, so what was your purpose behind the tapes? Do you want to get revenge? Are we need to see you as the victim? Are we need to see you as the villain? are you technically you want to inspire people to kill themselves, or you want to inspire people to not do it? That's the whole argument about season 1 in the book.
Yeah, well, and like that was the whole controversy of that show when the first season aired, because people thought it was promoting suicide and promoting, yeah.
And even the parents in episode 8, that's the other thing that I left from that episode, because they touched the parents' perspective of what happened in season 1 and 2. And also they said, I was like, is our fault also? Because we didn't notice it. And also it was the same questions that I just told you that Clay was talking to the spirit, and now was with the parents' perspective. And on episode 9 that I just finished, was all of the people from the test was like, so what was technically Hannah's purpose? Was telling us we were douchebags and we treated her bad? Or because she wanted to get revenge or what we did?
Mm-hmm.
Even the counselor, because that's his episode, in the counselor's perspective, because he's in the trial. Because that's the other thing. Every single episode is seeing a different character on the trial, giving her side of the story, as we're seeing what's happening in the school at the same time. And so he said, I was like, it's because I didn't stop her. When she told me technically what happened and I didn't stop her, I didn't say to her, do you need any help? Do you need to tell me what happened? Did you really get molested? All of those things.
Yeah.
And he even says it to his mom, was like, I'm so sorry that I didn't stop your daughter. And I know that I'm guilty for it. Going against with another episode, that's another thing that bothered me, because they're showing us, even though I can notice that it's a lie, because they're telling us some people, they're saying lies to help themselves not telling the truth because they want to go against the tapes. And people they're contributing the truth about the tape, but they're also adding stuff that the tapes didn't explore. So yeah, it's a complicated perspective of what they're doing in season 2.
Well, and how many more episodes do you have? Like season 2?
4. I mean, there are 13 episodes, and right now I'll see.
Oh yeah, 2. I guess that makes sense because it's like every tape, right?
Mm-hmm. Huh. But now it's a Polaroid.
Oh,
because that's another thing. Because the season started that Hannah wasn't the only one that it was raped by Bryce, the jock from the football team.
Oh,
that they raped more girls. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Even the episode that I just finished, the guy that is a photographer, he's manipulating Bryce. He said, I was like, you're a fucking rapist. The other things that you did. I was like, we know the truth. And one of the guys that he was helping Bryce, he says, hey, I cannot be blackmailed anymore. He says Bryce Walker is a rapist, and he's starting the conversation in the school, and he's the next on trial. He's going to the trial. And that's when I paused the first 5 minutes of episode 10. I don't know if he's going to be the next one on the trial, but they're going to I think that Bryce will be in the finale. I think we're going to get the payoff of what is going to happen to him because he's the rapist. He's the villain.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. Hopefully they give him justice and like they lock him up or kill his character off, you know.
Yeah, I don't want him to go to prison. I want some of the students to kill him. Yeah. I would love it, like, even though I never saw Degrassi, but I would like, if they're hinting of a school shooting for the finale, I want the.
Well, what if Bryce, after all the complaints of him being called like a rape, that would be very interesting to be like, so now you've seen what this guy has done, the despicable acts he's had, and if they try to flip it around and be like, he's the one that's going to do the high school shooting because of the action that he's gotten out of these people, and try to get you to sympathize with someone that has made despicable decisions.
That was the thing that I was also thinking about. Maybe Bryce could be the one in the shooting. Even though this will be a pretty crazy one, I don't think it could happen. But even Clay could be the one making the shooting, the main guy, because he's also stressed out. He cannot do this anymore because all of the things that is happening is because he heard the tapes. He's getting bullied. He's getting almost ran over by a car. Right now on episode 9, the football team kicked his ass like really bad.
Wow, that's good though.
No, Clay. He's the hero.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying what's his name?
Oh, Bryce.
Yeah.
No, that. I hope
I
that they
don't know.
kill that douchebag.
Well, yeah, no shit. Like, I think, yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
No,
Talking
you know
about
what would
school
be a
shootings,
cool
though.
twist?
What?
It would be a cool twist that the mom of Clay kills Bryce.
Ooh, I like that. That would be sweet. Yeah, talking
Because
about
that's the other
school.
thing in right now in the character, because he's a rich white douchebag.
Yeah.
What if he gets away and they don't send him to prison? And that would be like the cliffhanger. You seen the shooting at the school, but then the mother goes to the Bryce house and he kills him like in the head. And at the same time, the school
That's
shooting
so
is
smart. Like,
happening.
look at a lot of the colleges and stuff, right? With these athletes that make these terrible decisions, and they get let off,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have to. Yeah, I think that could be something like a parallel as well in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a pitch I had like long time ago before I wanted to make movies, or when I was just developing it. I had a pitch for a high school shooting film. That was going to be one of the
Mm-hmm.
ones, and it was going to be like Birdman, but with a school shooting, and you're taking place as the guys going through the school, entering each room, going through. And I had started writing that script, but it's something I want to continue because I love the whole idea and situation is obviously terrible, but I like the idea of trying to get into the mind of someone that was doing that and trying to get the audience, to empathize with the fact that they're making these despicable decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to be careful with movies like that, especially because with things like, and no harm because I know it's almost every couple days in the States, like
Mm-hmm.
some guys going in with a gun, or like it's crazy. So I think it's a very touchy subject right now. So if they touch on that, then that's going to be the controversy of season 2 if they do
And
that.
I haven't heard any spoilers. I hope that the last episode will be the shooting that they have been hinting since season 1.
Yeah. Well, either that or they'll
Because
do
they even canceled the premiere here in LA because that's Houston shooting.
Yeah.
It was going to be the premiere here in LA and they canceled the premiere of the show.
Yeah, it's probably going to be some. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they do that. Look at when Spider-Man came out, right? It had the Twin Towers in the background. They had in the poster, and they had to change it. So there's a lot of incidents like that make the show that change certain things, and they won't premiere it. But it's all in good faith, and so that we don't piss people off, right?
And also, every single, even in season 1, they end the episode was like, if you need any help and you were abused or raped or bullied, go to 13reasonswhy.com or go to, they put up a phone number for the crisis hotline.
That's good.
And also, they're in writing season 2, they make an introduction of like, this season is going to contain a lot of violence. We're going to explore a lot of things from season 1, but we're going to go to more deep themes.
Yeah.
You have been warned. They will have graphic violence, and they put out all the disclaimer. All of the cast was saying, giving the disclaimer. Because before the princess, I was like, I wasn't even warned that my son can watch this. I was like, hey, even the cast were giving the disclaimer before the season started. I was like,
well, yeah, like I said, that was the biggest thing I remember is like. It was like, oh, it's glorifying suicide and it's glorifying all these problems. It's like, no, it's just really realistic. So it kind of sucks that the second season strayed more away from that. But I'm sure it was good because in the long run, you're going to have less complaints and more people to watch it. So
yeah, but I think that's the other thing. Maybe it's one of those seasons from a lot of TV shows that they're going slow, but maybe it's going to have a big payoff at the end.
yeah, hopefully. And like I said, it's on Netflix, so it's not like.
It's not like I'm watching it week to week.
Yeah, which would probably be terrible.
Yeah, because if I were watching it week to week, I would have already quit by episode 5.
Yeah, that's funny. Wow, that's cool. I'm excited to see how it turns up though, and so in a couple days or whatever, whenever you finish it, we'll have to do another one of these, and we can review it and see exactly what ended up paying off, and hopefully it did.
Mm-hmm. Also, I know that it's a very touchy season show, but I would really like to see your perspective on it, because I would like also to talk about my perspective on it, because
Exactly.
I deal with bullying and I try to kill myself also.
Well, exactly, and like I think we both had crazy. Well, we both had that same scenario happen to us in our own different ways. So I want to watch it, and we can get into all that stuff, because
Even though
not only is it therapeutic, it's.
I didn't experience a school shooting, but I saw 2 shootings in my life. So
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
another thing that.
I saw a guy walk naked down the street once. That's the worst. That's the worst you get in Canada.
Oh my God.
We have a ban on guns. I don't know if you know what that is in America.
No, I don't think that.
It means you have to try really, really hard, and there's a big process in order to get guns. You can't. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. You can't just go to 7-Eleven and pick up an AR-15. It's in the section in Walmart next to the soda.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, in Walmart, it's next to the plants section is when you buy the guns.
That's funny. Right next to the greens. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's between the garden section and the pets section.
I will say, talking about that, well, I mean, that's a terrible segue, but I did end up going to see and watching Gringo this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, so this was, I don't remember what you thought about this, but you had seen it and you reviewed it. Yeah. I thought this movie was awesome. Charlize Theron's like bitchy character was and she was crazy. That one scene when she's like pumping herself up in the car before she goes to up into the motel to catch him cheating with the one guy's wife. That was awesome. David Oyelowo's performance I thought was so good when he got to like play drunk and like kind of just be off the charts insane. I thought that was awesome.
The guy from The Gift being funny.
Yeah, right. Well, and even the guy from A-Team, Charlton Copley.
Charlton Copley. Yeah.
I thought he was so good, and seeing him trying to pursue David Oyelowo was great.
Also, I really like Amanda Seyfried's storyline.
She was very very low key in this film. She wasn't over the top or anything. She was very normal and like humanized, which I really enjoyed. Her boyfriend that worked at the guitar shop with her, he was cool. That storyline was awesome, but it was one of those movies where it would subvert your expectations, like especially when Charlton Copley gets hit by the car and those guys show up, right? There was a lot of moments like that where I'm like, oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. This is cool. It's a change of pace. So yeah, I thought Gringo was really, really awesome. What would I rate it? I guess I just saw it, so I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. I thought it was really fun. I'd buy it on Blu-ray and watch it again one day. Yeah,
I really like Gringo also. I really liked it a lot. I'm pretty sad that movie flopped really hard.
Well, and it's directed by his brother, right? And his twin brother.
And the critics didn't like that also.
Yeah, I think it was fun. And like I said, those performances made that movie. For sure. The performances. Also, actually, it was beautiful looking. A lot of the shots were staged great. The production-wise, it was really good. Yeah, no, you're right. It's one of the most underrated of the year so far, I think.
My only nitpick about Gringo was like Tandy Newton was not necessary at all. She was an unnecessary character.
I can blame you for this. The whole time I'm sitting there like, Woody Harrelson's going to be so pissed. Because in Solo.
Yeah.
Because I just saw her character the whole time. But yeah, I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. I want to watch, my dad actually is just watching Death Wish right now, the Bruce Willis movie. I told him, I'm like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to go record with Raul. Because I don't want to see that movie again. Goodness, that one scene you keep mentioning in the TV station or whatever, or the commercial.
Yeah, the commercial.
I thought that
hey, you need a gun? Just call Bethany.
So I'm trying to think what other movies I was gonna watch this week. What's coming out in theaters? I didn't even know. It's going to die down now, right? Because we saw the big blockbusters for Let me see.
Yeah, because the next big movie is Incredibles 2 in June 15.
Oh, okay. It's still going to be a big week though, because if I'm looking at it, Upgrade comes out. That's exciting. That movie, for those that don't know, is directed by Leigh Whannell, who was the writer, co-writer, and one of the actors in the original Saw film. And Upgrade is set in the near future. Technology controls nearly all aspects of life, but when Gray, a self-identified technophobe, has the world turned upside down, his only hope for revenge is an experimental computer chip called STEM. And it's going to be Logan, what's his name? Logan Marshall Green, I believe is the actors. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. You have Adrift. This is another movie I've seen a little bit about. I'm actually curious to see this. I'm a sucker for.
Here in LA, they have promoted the hell of that movie. I have seen 4 different trailers in 4 different perspectives of that movie. I was like, wow. I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna survive at the end.
Well, yeah. I agree. It's gonna be more about their performances.
Also,
if they can carry on the whole survival aspect.
Even though I have never seen a trailer for this movie, American Animals, this is the Movie Pass bought this movie.
Oh, really? Let me see.
Yeah, Movie Pass bought this movie.
Oh, Evan Peters. That's awesome.
Also, that new Johnny Knoxville. Also,
Dunkirk bands in that.
Also, Action Point, that new Jackass movie.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Action Point. That movie looks amazing.
Next week,
I just saw Hereditary comes out. I am stoked for that.
Also, a movie that's gonna
Artemis.
Also, a movie that's gonna ruin my teenage years, Ocean's 8.
I'm not excited for it, honestly. Are you?
No,
Are you looking forward to it?
I'm only gonna see it for the cast, but those trailers. They don't look funny. They don't look interesting at all.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Because I remember when this movie was like announced long ago. So then seeing it come out, I am excited that week more for Hotel Artemis though, the Jodie Foster, Sterling K. Brown movie. I think that looks pretty awesome.
You know what my fear is for Hereditary? That it's gonna have an inconstant night thing. That we're thinking it's a horror movie and there's gonna be a drama instead of a horror. That's my fear for Hereditary.
I think you are 100% right because it's. I mean, I heard like from Perry Nemiroff on Nightmare, on Collider, that she said it's so good. So hopefully it's going to be more horror than whatever it's
a drama.
A drama, right? But yeah. And
also, that Hotel Artemis. I had invitations to the premiere and I didn't went to.
Oh, you could have met Batista.
Mm-hmm. And also, I have never seen a trailer for that movie.
And Jeff Goldblum. And Charlie Day. And Zachary Quinto.
I want to see that movie without seeing a trailer. I haven't seen nothing about that movie.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer. I know what it's about. I won't say anything, but it looks really, really interesting. Jodie Foster I don't really like, but I'll live with her because the rest of that cast is insane.
Also, like even I say in Ocean's 8, I'm gonna see it for the cast. It's a pretty good cast.
You know what movie is coming out too? I was just talking to my dad about as well that I'm really looking forward to. Tag. I really want to see Tag with Jeremy Renner and Bateman and
that movie looks weird, but it's gonna look like funny as hell.
Well, it's directed by a brand new director. Like it's his first time film. Which gets me excited. I know the screenplay here was written by the guy, the assistant director of Hall Pass. Let's see if he's written anything else. He wrote a couple episodes of Shameless. Shameless is a good show.
Hall Pass was not that good.
Hall Pass was serviceable. I'm looking forward to that. And then obviously Incredibles 2 looks awesome. That's the next big one. The next big blockbuster is going to be Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this. I wasn't at first, but the trailers have definitely sold me. I think it's going to be really, really good.
Troy, I'm going to say this argument, like even Dan Murrow has said in his AGAU, I was like, this movie looks like dinosaurs killing people. There's not going to be any story. And I'm like, I don't care. I sign up for seeing dinosaurs killing people. That's the only thing that I want.
Well, exactly. It looks dark and depressing. Yeah, man. I saw the comment that it looks like the Lost World of.
It's Lost World. It's the remake of Lost World.
Yeah, but
it's
who
the
cares?
Same premise. I don't care.
If I get to see a dinosaur eat something, then I'm happy, and I'm gonna like that film. Excuse me.
I want to see Jurassic World 3, and you see narrator says Chris Pratt instead of Alan.
Hey, I want to see Jurassic World 3 when the pterodactyls come down in the cage and all that stuff. Do 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 do.
Oh my god. I love that. I love Jurassic World 3, Jurassic Park 3 so much.
Oh, it's so good. I don't get the that's an underrated movie too. I love that.
If they
that's funny. Like that's a movie I grew up with. Like we talked about on the podcast earlier today, Edge After Tomorrow. That's a movie I remember my grandma and me watching almost every day when I went over. Like that movie was like my childhood, and Jurassic Park 3 was another one.
You know what they should do for Jurassic World 3 if they're gonna remake Jurassic Park 3? Make Jacob Tremblay the kid that is trapped in the island.
That is genius. Oh, I'm sold. Well, you saw on our channel too right now. You can watch the Predator trailer review you did, and you thought that looked okay, hey?
Yeah, I want the Predator to kill Jacob Tremblay. I don't know why.
Well, Raul, you just like to see kids die. We've established this on the podcast.
Yes. Like in Jurassic World, they have finished all of the trailers with that dinosaur, the new one with the little girl on the bed.
Yeah.
If that girl lives at the end, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed.
What do you think of the new Sicario movie coming out? You didn't like the first. So you're not really looking forward to it.
I'm still gonna see it, but
also the first Purge. I'm looking forward to that too. The first Purge looks great.
Yes.
And then you got Ant-Man and the Wasp. Skyscraper looks great.
I heard that the second trailer for Skyscraper spoils the whole movie. That's why I haven't seen it.
It does. It's played in front of Deadpool or Solo, maybe. Solo. It played when I was in Solo, and it spoils a lot of the movie.
Oh, when I saw Solo.
But like, if you're going to see a Rock action movie, you already know what's going to happen. Like, it's already spoiled for you just knowing what the movie is. So it's like a homage to Die Hard. He's gonna win in the end and save his family.
Also, like I don't know, when I saw Solo, they showed us the second trailer for Mission Impossible 6.
Oh my god!
They spoiled the whole movie. I feel that
I didn't see that trailer then.
I want to see the movie, but I have felt that when you see both trailers, you have seen the whole movie.
That's unfortunate.
But still, I thinking, and I don't remember if we said this months ago, but I have a feeling that they're gonna kill Tom Cruise's character at the end.
Oh, really?
Because they're hinting at it. Remember in the first trailer that the villain says, "You always have protected everyone that you love, but now you're not gonna win." And in the second trailer, was like, "I'm gonna destroy everything that Ethan Hunt loves, and he will not gonna stop it." I was like,
that would be ballsy if they killed Tom Cruise, especially because I don't know if they're gonna do a 7.
Because my theory is from months ago that they're gonna kill Ethan Hunt and Henry Cavill. I think that Henry Cavill will be a villain, and at the end he will become the new Ethan Hunt.
That would be sweet. I want Henry Cavill to succeed. He deserves the best.
Also, because the DCU is already dead, so he needs another franchise.
Oh, a franchise, yeah, of course. Looking at the other movies coming out just before we end today's episode, The Meg looks so good. Cannot wait for The Meg. Happy Time Murders looks great.
The Meg, that's my Infinity War.
That Slender Man movie coming out late August, that looks great.
Wait, is that the Sony Slender Man movie?
Yeah, remember that trailer that came out a little bit before? It's like really dark and depressing.
I thought that movie was going to come out in April. They push it back.
It looked, yeah. It comes out, like, remember that movie Alpha about the first dog that was supposed to come out so long ago? It comes out that week or the week before or after, I mean.
Oh, I didn't notice that they pushed that movie also.
Well, it's one of those movies I saw promotions in like 2 years ago, and now it's finally coming out.
Also,
The Predator.
my most awaited sequel of all time, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
I've never seen the first.
Troy. I'm a big sucker for ABBA and Mamma Mia. That's every time that I see the trailer, I'm like this. Like deeper.
Yeah, I'll watch. Well, when the new one comes out, I'll watch both back to back.
And of course, Troy, it's not a good movie. You know that I like those kind of romantic comedies.
Yeah, well, I'm a sucker for those too, so I'm honestly sure I'm gonna like it. I'll watch it with my girlfriend; she'll probably love them. Another movie I was looking into as well that I'm really excited for is that movie Night School with Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. That one, I saw the trailer and I thought that looked really, really awesome.
I'm so happy that Tiffany Haddish is. I think I just saw a billboard for it. I haven't seen that show. She's in a TV show with Tracy Morgan.
With Tracy Morgan, yeah, I heard that show was great.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see it. Other than that, like Halloween. Oh, we didn't talk about this morning. What did you think of that Mowgli trailer from Andy Serkis?
It looks pretty interesting. Yeah, I saw it before Solo. They showed that trailer.
It looks dark. I like the approach they're taking. Like it looks like it's going to be like I said, an adult version of Jungle Book, which hell, I'm here for. The effects look incredible. Like not as good as the Jon Favreau Jungle Book, but I think in its own unique artistic way, it looks great.
For me, I don't know, but I like the perspective on the Andy Serkis thing because I like the darkness. Because my problem with the Disney one, it was pretty much CGI heavy. In this one, I don't know, it feels like a little more photorealistic.
Yeah, I agree. Because the other one kind of does look Disney-fied. And it looks more cartoonish, where this one does look realistic and full. Yeah, I agree. I was just looking because later, a couple weeks after that, Overlord comes out. And I still think this is going to be a Cloverfield movie.
Of course, it's going to be a Cloverfield.
Look at the. Let me see. The poster still has the lines like in Cloverfield on IMDb. So I'm excited for that. Oh, and oh my God, one of my most anticipated movies of the year, Suspiria. Did you hear about the theater in CinemaCon that got to see the film or see the scene that they showed? So, have you seen the original Suspiria? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a scene they showed at CinemaCon with this ballerina pretty much getting contorted and twisted, and her arms snapping, and there's blood going everywhere. And apparently, they like this montage scene of just violence and gruesome. This movie looks incredible. I can't wait to see the first trailer.
Ooh, when you saw me ballerina and torso and everything, I was like, I'm sold. I don't need to see anything.
Well, let me do this. It stars Chloe Grace Moretz, Dakota Johnson, Tilda Swinton, Maya Goth. Like that cast alone is great. And the most insane part about it is the director, because it's from the director of Call Me by Your Name. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's doing a horror movie now. Oh my God! If it's anything like Call Me by Your Name, I'm gonna be very happy.
Because I think they're from Suspiria. I think they were hinting there were some lesbians there. And it's interesting that the Call Me by Your Name director is doing it. What if Dakota Johnson and Chloe Grace Moretz, they have like a romance and this is forbidden because the Suspiria thing was witches?
Yeah.
So that would be a cool twist they can make on the original.
I totally forgot Creed 2 comes out this year. I thought that was coming out next year. But it comes out in November.
Yeah, November.
Wreck-It Ralph 2, I'm excited for.
Yes, I have waited so long for that one also.
Same with that new Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. I'm curious about this movie.
You forgot about Venom.
Oh, Venom, yeah. Venom.
That
I just
movie,
hope it's in the Marvel universe. I just hope so. Like,
I have a feeling
please.
that movie's gonna bomb hard at the box office.
Yeah.
No one is gonna see it.
I hope they do. I think if in like the last final trailer they show the Daily Bugle or show something that will get Spider-Man fans to want to go see it, or they'll reveal Carnage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even like reading all of the things that Sony is planning for the sequels, I was like, this is like the mummy for their dark universe. So it can go either way.
Did you see that movie coming? It comes out next year, but it's called Chaos Walking.
No.
So it's a dystopian world where there are no women and all living creatures can hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words, sounds called noise. It's directed by Doug Liman, who obviously did Edge of Tomorrow and guess who it stars? I'm sure you've heard of this. It's starring Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, Mads Mikkelsen, and Nick Jonas. David Oyelowo. David Oyelowo is in it.
That's a good cast.
Yeah, seeing Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley in a movie together, I think will be outstanding.
I never heard of this movie before.
It comes out the same weekend as How to Train Your Dragon 3, which is the week before Captain Marvel.
Oh my god. Oh no kidding. It's gonna be on the same weekend?
It's the weekend after or before. So like March 1st is Chaos Walking and Train Your Dragon. The week after that is Captain Marvel. Then it's the new Jordan Peele movie after that.
Yeah, year. Because How to Train Your Dragon needs their own weekend. That movie needs more money.
Yeah.
Because How to Train Your Dragon 3 was for a lot of years in production hell because How to Train Your Dragon 2 didn't make a lot of money.
Oh, in May of next year, right? Get this. It starts off Avengers 4. Then the next week is the Pikachu movie. Then it's John Wick 3, which opens the same weekend as the Men in Black movie. Then it's Aladdin, all in May. That's a huge lineup.
I have Avengers, a feeling Pikachu,
that John Wick, Men. Oh wow,
Aladdin is gonna flop. I have a feeling.
It depends on what the first trailer looks like. Because if people are it's either they're gonna think it looks amazing and better than the cartoon, or that it looks absolutely ridiculous. And it really depends on how Will Smith, I think, performs too. Because the two main cast will be great. Both of them are gonna be great, but it's gonna see how they do the genie and what the reaction to that's gonna be.
The hard sell is gonna be Will Smith as the genie.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Also, Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, Kingsman was, or what was
King Arthur.
Yeah, King Arthur was. It was okay. It was weird. Very weird movie.
And I like Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes movies.
Oh, see, I have to watch those still. How many times have we mentioned that I still have to watch them?
You need to see them, Troy. And I need to see the Benedict Cumberbatch TV show.
Yeah, that's true. And I watched the first season of that when that came out a long time ago. Well, why don't I was just thinking, why don't we end this with a segment that we used to do on the Monday show, and that's box office. The reason I mention this is because of the news that came out today of Han Solo making $83 million. This is compared to
super below expectations because it was like 120. That was the expectation.
Well, look at Rogue One, I believe did. Let me see the number.
150, 160.
Yeah, 163 or something. Yes, it was like almost half. Why do you think Solo did too poorly? Do you think it was the critic reaction? Do you think it was people are just skeptical still of going in, or did people not really want to see this movie?
No, it was the people that hated The Last Jedi.
You think?
Yeah, because even Brandon said it. There were some people, even my sister told me when she saw Solo, I was like, there were some people saying, oh my God, it was so much better than The Last Jedi.
Okay, can you at least admit that The Last Jedi is leaps and bounds better than Solo?
Just for my sake. Troy.
Thank you. Troy. I'm just making sure.
Troy, I told you that I liked Solo. I didn't love it.
That's true. We both loved The Last Jedi. I think you saw it 500 times or something, you said.
I saw it 7 times in the theater.
Yeah, Solo. I'm disappointed that it didn't do that well. Hey, they should have opened it in December. People like going to see Star Wars in December.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the thing. They needed to open it in December.
Also,
And
it doesn't help being so close to Deadpool 2 and Avengers. I think
and
that also hurt
also
it.
people remembering The Last Jedi.
Yeah, that's crazy to me that people didn't like that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people hated it.
We should do like a special video where we bring someone that absolutely loved The Last Jedi and find someone online that absolutely hated it and have them argue it out on the show. I would just like to watch something like that. I think it would be interesting.
Oh, I know many people that hate. Like right now, I'm not gonna say the name of this person, but he's a friend of a whore that I have told you about.
Yeah.
But this guy, he even made a video of throwing the Last Jedi Blu-ray on the trash. I was like, if you bought the Blu-ray, why are you making that video? You already supporting the movie.
Yeah, you already lost. You paid $40 on the Blu-ray.
And he just made a post. I was like, oh my God, Solo bring back my hope for the Star Wars future.
Oh my God. Okay, we need to investigate and get this guy on the show.
And a lot of people, we just said it. A lot of people said, I was like, oh my God, this was so much better than The Last Jedi, or like that guy. I'm having hope.
Oh my God. I saw someone say today, it was on Twitter, someone said like, oh, Star Wars fatigue, it's not really a thing. And then someone's like, yeah, it's because they're not making movies people want. And then I read a comment, they said, Episode 9 is going to flop. I'm like, are you kidding me? Episode 9 is not going to flop. That trailer's going to come out and people are going to be like, holy shit, this looks incredible. J.J. Abrams is finally going to do something good. It's going to make so much money.
Also, that's the other thing that I'm worried for the future of Star Wars. Since last year, Kathleen Kennedy said something that worried me. Kathleen Kennedy said, with Episode 9, the storyline of the Skywalkers will end.
Which is good. And you saw that post I tagged you in on Twitter, right? With that guy that said, the thing that I liked about Rogue One was that we had characters that weren't introduced before. And it was like a completely new story. So hopefully when she's talking about the Skywalker story being over, it means like with the Rian Johnson trilogy, we're going to get something completely new, right? With the Jon Favreau TV show, hopefully we get something completely new. Hopefully it's not just going to be retrash after the same 60 years in the same universe.
And because I think, what if it goes in a different way? What if when Episode 9 comes out, the public said, well, we finally saw the end of the Skywalker, so we don't have to see another Star Wars again. Because a lot of people, even my parents, they hated Rogue One, and they saw Solo and they were okay with it. They have the same opinion as me. It was an enjoyable movie. That was okay. But what if regular people said, what if we don't want to see another Star Wars again? Maybe they're just waiting for Episode 9, and let's say that's the end of the Skywalker storyline. What if they not get interested when they see the Rian Johnson new trilogy, or when they see the David Benioff and Weiss storyline? Because that's a thing that you're saying. Like for me, I said it many times, I sign up for seeing a soap opera in space.
Yeah.
I sign up to see the storyline of the Skywalkers. Rogue One, my problem is I didn't care that there was nothing against it. They didn't have a Skywalker in it. My problem is that the characters were not interesting at all.
Yeah.
What if, I hope Rian Johnson brings characters that they're interesting, but what if it's not for the general public? What if, like, people have said it, like they saw the Predator, was like, oh, from the guy from Iron Man 3. A lot of people that are not fans of the MCU, they hated Iron Man 3.
Yeah. I agree. You're right.
And so what if we did Rian Johnson, the guy from directed The Last Jedi, the new thing in Star Wars? I was like, I'm not going to see this because I hated that movie.
Yeah, I think you have a great point.
What if people hate the last season of Game of Thrones because these writers, they're doing it off the books? What if
Ryan Johnson did his own take on Star Wars, and I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm. So. And also because season 7 of Game of Thrones was pretty divisive because it was coming out of books. A lot of fans were against it, and a lot of fans liked it. And then we're gonna go to the last season. What is gonna happen with the fandom? And now we're saying from the guys that brought you Game of Thrones, what if the finale is pretty divisive? I was like, I'm not gonna see that they ruined my show and now they're ruining my Star Wars.
Star Wars, and it's just gonna be a downward spiral of all these like properties like people not gonna want to see. That's a great point.
I hope that this doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, me too. Hopefully, it's great.
Anything can happen.
Hey, that's true. Anything can happen. And with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone for listening. The one viewer that's on my laptop, that's me. But no, please log back, watch all the content on the channel. Raul, you can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Raul Vader RDZ, or in the description. And Stardust, yes. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, everything at Troy Loxton. We're going to be doing as many of these after darks as we can. We're going to pretty much see what our schedule lines up, and maybe a couple times a week. Hopefully, we'll come on, talk about some of the stuff. It doesn't have to be necessarily about TV or movies like we did today. It could be more about life things. It could really be an open bag. I do want to pitch. There's going to be a special video coming out on Wednesday, which I'm not telling Raul who the guests are going to be, because I got two people that I think they're going to be excited, and they haven't been on the channel yet. I'll say that they're two brand new personalities, so I'm excited about that. And with that being said, Raul, I'll let you close it off.
Yeah, like we can talk about Troy not getting his lunch. We can talk about Troy getting some nasty people in his movie theater. It can go in any kind of way. Or we can talk about, like we talked in the beginning, we can talk about movie memories, TV show memories, reactions. So, as always, I'm Raul Rodriguez. This is Troy Loxton. Bye-bye.
Bye.